Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making chocolate cake and coconut cake. Okay, so chocolate and coconut cake. Let me show you exactly how it was made. So this is the chocolate cake now. I'm starting with the chocolate cake. So into my bowl I have my flour, and this is my cocoa powder. Okay, this is my flour and cocoa powder, and the measurements for these cakes are 250 grams. Alright, so I've added in my sugar, and this is my milk. Okay, this is milk and this is vinegar. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar into the milk. So instead of pouring out the milk into a cup, I just opened it by the side, and I've added 1 tablespoon of vinegar into the milk. Okay, it will help it curdle up to form buttermilk. Alright, so and then into that I've added salt, and I'm going to add sobic acid now. So sobic acid is my preservative. Okay, so sobic acid is for preservation, so I've added that, and I'm going to prepare my coffee. Alright, so into my cup of hot water. Remember, the measurements are in the description box below. The measurements of everything I'm using is in the description box below. Alright, so I'm adding 1 teaspoon of coffee into my hot water to help it dissolve. Okay, so I'm mixing that together to help it dissolve. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, and I'll work on my wet ingredients now. So into a bowl I'm cracking in 3 eggs, 3 large eggs. Okay, and next I'm going to add in that milk that I added vinegar into. Alright, so I'm adding it in now, and as you can see, it has curdled up a bit. So now it is buttermilk. Okay, it helps your cake stay soft. Alright, so that's my milk, and next I'm adding in my vegetable oil. Remember, the measurements are below. Alright, and then this is my vanilla. I'm adding in just half teaspoon of vanilla. Alright, so I'm mixing this together very well. So you want to whisk for about 1 to 2 minutes, so that everything will be properly combined. Alright, so I'm also mixing together my dry ingredients so that there won't be any lumps anywhere. And after that, I'm pouring in the dry into the wet ingredients. Pouring in the dry into the wet, or you can pour the wet into the dry. It's going to come out the same. So I'm just going to mix and mix and mix until everything is well incorporated. Okay, so I'm going to just continue to mix. I'll pour in my coffee mix and then continue to mix. Okay, so I'm pouring in everything because it's pre-measured, right? So I measured the water. You see the measurements below. So now I'm just going to mix and mix and mix until everything is well combined and smooth. Alright, as you can see, this has become very smooth. Okay, this is exactly how you want it to be. So I'm going to pour into my pan that I'll line with parchment paper or baking paper, and then I'll bake. Okay, so guys, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't done so, and leave me comments in the comment section, or a question if you have one. Okay, so this is my baking paper. It has butter by the side. I greased my pan first before adding the paper. I had to bring it out again, so I'll just show you how I put it in. Okay, so I'm putting it into my pan and I'm baking, and this is what we have. Okay, very soft, yummy chocolate cake. All right, so when you try out this recipe, you let me know if it came out as soft and as nice as this one is. All right, so I'm peeling off the baking paper and I'm revealing our beautiful chocolate cake. Now you can decide to add chocolate flavor, but I don't add chocolate flavor. So next we're going to go into making the coconut cake. All right, and again the measurements are below. All right, so here I have my flour. These are my eggs, already beaten eggs. This is coconut chips, dried. Okay, and this is my milk flavor. This is desiccated coconut. I hope I'm calling it right. This is coconut flavor. In my bowl I have my creamed butter and sugar. This is baking powder, and this is sobic acid, and this is my milk. All right, you can use coconut milk for this, but I'm using evaporated milk. Okay. All right, so into my flour I'm adding in sobic acid, which is my preservative, and I'm also adding baking powder. Okay, so the measurements are below. All right, so mixing that together. Okay, so I didn't bother showing you how I creamed my margarine and sugar because I've showed it in previous videos. Okay, so you either cream with your mixer or manually with a wooden spoon. All right, so I'm adding in my milk flavor and coconut flavor into my creamed margarine and sugar. All right, and then I'm adding the coconut chips, the desiccated coconut. If you have any other kind of coconut, you can add it at this point. Okay, so for a better flavor, you can grate in fresh coconut. Okay, you can grate in fresh coconut into your batter. Okay, so it gives your cake more, it makes your cake more moist, and it gives it a fresher coconut flavor. All right, so I've added in the coconut, the dried coconut chips and desiccated one. All right, so I'm mixing that together, and then I'm going to just mix the way I usually mix my vanilla cakes. Okay, so I'm going to add in the flour and the eggs one after the other. All right, so half of the flour, and then I'm going to mix together and then add the eggs. All right, so just watch the process and I'll be back to explain further. Alright, and then finally I'm going to add in the milk and then mix properly before I transfer into my baking pan. Alright, so I'm going to put into my baking pan and bake. Okay, so I also sprinkled more coconut at the top. Now this is optional. You can add more or less or none at all, depending on what you prefer. Okay, so I just added a little bit. You can add a lot more if you want. Alright, so this is our beautiful coconut cake, and it tasted very nice. Thank you so much for watching.